Good afternoon and happy Wellbeing Wednesday. It's really great to see you guys, and I hope that you've had an excellent week and weathered the storm that decided to sweep in on us. I thought that was pretty apropos, but it's great to reconnect. And this week I am really thankful that we were able to host out of Southwest Florida here an international CME for healthcare providers about positive psychology. And so today I just wanted to take some of that information and express some gratitude for the people who made that possible. And then how do we as regular folk, all right, also incorporate that into our lives? And it resonated so much with a lot that we discuss. And it was exciting to me to have this 3-hour opportunity to educate clinicians on how do we incorporate self-care, self-love, relationship development, positivity, connectivity in healthcare. So on Wellbeing Wednesday, what better thing to celebrate? So I want to start by thanking Dr. Liana Lianov. She's out of California. I had the pleasure of meeting her through the American College of Lifestyle Medicine. She's an incredible leader, and she chairs the happiness committee for them, along with Dr. Carrie Barron, who is at Dell Medical School in Austin. Two incredible leaders in positive psychology on a global scale. And like I said, I had the chance to meet them a couple years ago. I applied to attend what was called the Happiness Summit through American College of Lifestyle Medicine, held at Dell Medical School in Austin. And what an experience. There were 100 practitioners from all over the world, actually, who came together to have a conversation about how does positivity and happiness affect our health. And that was 2 years ago, like before now, and it was super early adoption. And here we are 2 years later, and being able to host a continuing medical credit in education for our clinicians and how we go ahead and incorporate that. So we had over 70 people from around the world plug in this week's educational opportunity. And I'm sharing that with you because while we are responsible for our own health and well-being, and that starts with self-care and self-love, it is really exciting to me, someone who has spent 10 years in healthcare and just really was exhausted from how we just aren't really hitting it when it comes to that foundation, that root cause of what is well-being and how do we live a life of optimal well-being, and to connect with 70 leaders from around the world who are talking about how does it affect our health when we are kind, when we shift our mindset, when we embrace one another and our differences, and all my favorite things to talk about. And I loved in this CME how we were really looking at it when we shift our mindset and approach things with positivity and in the present moment and without judgment, how much easier the rest of lifestyle becomes. And it's almost like a default. And instead of having to will ourselves, I have to eat more vegetables, or I have to get in my 10,000 steps, or whatever it is that you're willing. And I'm experiencing this too right now in this pandemic pause, where I'm actually taking pretty good care of myself in the middle of all this insanity, right? And it's becoming easier to make good decisions instead of it being a real head game I've got to play with myself. And it's really because of that self-care and that self-love. So I just want to thank Liana and thank Carrie. And I also want to thank Cheryl Schlichty, my former colleague at Lee Health, who once again came through to just be the rock star that she is. And it's so beautiful, Cheryl, to see you blossom as a leader in this mindfulness space. So thank you for supporting that CME. I also want to congratulate and thank all the attendees. There were so many people that I just love and adore who plugged in and were really engaged and are taking charge of their destiny and their life's purpose and owning it and saying, you know what, I want to talk about how foundational it is to deal with stress and the PTSD that's coming out of COVID, and how are we mitigating and navigating through lifestyle. So there was a lot of great people on that CME. Nicole Traum, thanks for being there. Jean Struve, Nancy Travis, Marcia Sipes, Sarah Mitchell, who recently has started her all-in coaching. It was just really inspiring to me to see so many leaders plug in to receive that education. So thanks for that. I wanted to go back and talk just for a brief moment about what we were talking about last week, and that was the receiving. And it's a newer topic to me as I'm literally going through that receiving piece, right? And I think that we're going to be talking about it on Wellbeing Wednesday for a while, because I'm becoming acutely aware of people who have historically been incredible givers. And you know who you are, okay? Give, 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 give. It's all about doing and giving, okay? Who are transitioning into the pause, which is beautiful to see, right? So are you one of those people that would give, 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 and that was how you satiated and that was how you felt good? Okay, then we talked about being present and just being and loving yourself by just being. You don't have to do anything to earn your own love or anyone else's love. Remember that conversation? And now, again, I want to shed light on receiving. So that's really hard, right? And so I'm seeing deflection, like, oh, no, no, no. Deflection from others, okay? And that's apparent. We can see that and we can feel that. But I want to challenge you, and this is what I was trying to say last week, and I want to point it out again this week, is it's not about others giving to you to receive, though that's something we can work on too, but it's about you receiving from you and you opening yourself up to you. And that's a really, really deep, hard concept when it comes to well-being. So this week, I'd love you to digest the concept of it's not about others seeing you and appreciating you and you receiving it. It's about you seeing you, receiving you, and appreciating it. Subtle, but ginormous, huge gap. And I can literally see people be challenged with that, including myself, right? To be challenged with that. So that's this week's message outside of my gratitude to Liana, Carrie, and Cheryl. It's also gratitude to you for having the courage and plugging in to be a part of this movement where we are diving deeper into the root cause of well-being. And the foundation of that is self. And how are we getting uber comfortable in our own skin and just being and forgiving ourselves and healing. And then, yes, receiving the love of others, okay, but also just receiving our own love and being okay with that. Because I see you, you see me, but we have to see ourselves to foundationally thrive. So with that, wonderful to connect with you. And thank you guys. Appreciate you subscribing to this YouTube channel. And I appreciate the likes. That's really helping the algorithms. I'm meeting people from all over the place that I haven't had the chance to connect with before. And it's so inspiring to me. And it keeps me fueled and going. So I love that this message is getting out. And I love your feedback. Keep it coming. Have a wonderful week. I look forward to reconnecting next week. I hope you have a great Wellbeing Wednesday. Bye.